So I'm really just happy that we were able to have D&D last night, because the entire week leading up to it, I went on Twitter to check how our stuff was going, kind of network a little bit. And everyone's just going like, oh, no, Trump indictment. And I'm just like, no, please shut up. I came here for the D&D. I didn't ask for this political stuff. It's my escape. Don't do this to me.
Look, you knew the risk when you went on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
true. He got you there.
It sucks my soul a little bit, like Walmart.
Like Walt Disney.
I don't think Walt Disney is like a thrifty vampire.
Oh, absolutely not.
He's just like a normal vampire.
Yeah, if warlocks were real, I think Disney would be my patron for sure.
That's perfect. Put that in the parody source book. Disney the patron.
Pact of the
Disney.
Oh man,
Walt Disney, the bodiless head.
It's like Zordon.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
By that logic, Power Rangers are essentially warlocks.
I mean,
oh no,
your fine familiar can take the form of a Disney character.
Oh man, like some sort of enchantment song brings all the birds to the yard.
My Disney voice brings all the birds to the yard.
I bet our listeners are wondering, who are these new voices?
Oh snap!
Oh well, we got
special guest with us today.
It's a full studio.
We followed you guys home.
Followed us home. Had to be in our house.
Yeah, they just kind of walked in off the street and they're like, "Hey, interview? Yes."
D&D? Yeah.
I mean,
well, thank you guys.
It can't be any worse than that time I had a drug addict show up at my house in the middle of a game.
Ooh,
yeah,
really?
It was. I've talked about it on the show before, but it's like I'm running a game. I got my Stein here, and I'm just kind of drinking. I'm behind the counter, just using that as like my DM screen because it's kind of half-assed. 7 players at a table that's just hobbled together, and then as we're just chilling and making our rolls, the new players had just done the signature move of the human slingshot. I'm proud as can be, and then all of a sudden, a good old at the door. I stroll on up to it and just like, hello? Hey, man. Don't kick me out. I just want to be friends. I looked at him in his drug-addled face.
Wait. Did Barney come to your door?
I live in the middle of nowhere, Maine, so this is just weird, even by Maine standards.
Did you make him your party rogue, or?
The thought crossed my mind at least 3 times during this exchange, and I'm like, no, I never let you in, and I'm very sketched out here. You can leave now.
Don't kick me out, dude. You're not in my house.
You're not even in
yet. Leave.
He doesn't even have a foot in the door, and he's worried about being kicked out. I had to read the room a little bit. I look back to my players, and they're just like, no. Head shakes all around.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you listened to your table. I think that's a very, very smart DM.
I think
DM proverb.
Yes. Oh shit! I should make give me ideas for shorts. See?
Oh snap! Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Get some.
Wow.
All right, I think that's a great segue to start the show. What do you think, Sam?
Oh yeah, run that track.
Oh, did I? I think I might have messed it up. I'm not hearing shit. Are you guys hearing me?
Welcome to Dungeons and Talkshows, the only talk show where we have dungeons, monsters, lore, homebrew, and guests.
Well, hot damn.
There is Orion, who talked during the intro music.
I couldn't hear the intro music.
That sounds pretty authentic, though. I think that's a great
It was pretty
common
good.
gold right there.
Oh, well, when in doubt, audio problem it out. So here we go.
The best part was all of us trying to signal to you.
All right. So in studio, we have Curtis and Jacob from Backyard Tabletop. Welcome.
Yo,
That's
thank you so much.
That's us.
I always like to talk over Curtis, so I'm going to let him start.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. Mhm.
We always try to up each other. No, thank you so much for having us on. We are the Backyard Tabletop. We actually pretty similar to you guys. We like to just kind of bring a segment on, and then Curtis and I are best friends, and we have the unique thing of not playing in the same weekly game. He plays on a Friday night game. I play on a Saturday morning game. And due to the fact that we live like 1,000 miles away, it's kind of an excuse to like talk to my best friend on a weekly basis. But then also to talk about our weekly game that we've been going through.
I think that's a great angle to go for because it's very niche. And when it comes to content creation, you got to find your niche.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and Curtis is the one that kind of came up with the idea of like, we need to have an idea where we like won't run out of content.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Those are things to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole coming with your favorite thing or your favorite homebrew, that kind of angle, like that's a great thing too, because the community is never going to stop. So it's always
Exactly.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just like to showcase what the community's got going on because like there's so many good things and sometimes you just don't get around to all of it. So kind of like a boosting up the common creator that does all this awesome stuff,
For sure.
Exactly. And we definitely love doing that for sure. And so that's something that like it will kind of change up our intro. Like I think the last one I did a D&D trivia for Curtis to test his knowledge.
Oh,
Which was a lot of fun.
trivia. It was trivia off of like he just searched like D&D trivia quiz, and it was like one of those websites that's like, oh, this was probably AI generated.
Probably like one of the questions, the answer was wrong.
Yeah, we like looked it up after. We're like,
it was weird.
Chat
that
GPT.
wasn't right. I don't think
Not
that
right.
It's funny you say that. I was thinking about what our server bot would do because NerdBot, like he's not programmed to just say, "Oh, I don't know." He's programmed to make a joke if he doesn't understand something. So he'll
I'll ask him
pretend to not know.
question. Let's see what he says.
Oh,
That's fantastic.
Give me a D&D
oh yeah.
trivia.
Oh, are you doing it right now?
He's going for it.
He did all caps by accident, but like he'll get the point.
Yeah.
You're yelling at him.
Yelling at me.
No.
Is this
Oh,
Chat
no.
GPT or Bar?
Yeah,
or,
It is, yeah.
is it actually Chat GPT? That's fantastic.
Yeah, you can get bots that use GPT set up in your server. We have a guy in our server who manages all the bots and AI type stuff. He's kind of our resident AI technician. Shout out to Forrest because he does a great job with that kind of stuff. And he's also our thumbnail artist. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice. Look
Well
at
done,
that.
Forrest. Sorry, I just watched the D&D movie, so Forge was on my head. Forrest.
Oh,
Oh,
I haven't got a
no.
chance yet.
Yeah, we haven't got to watch it yet. I did
Uh,
mention that we would talk about
my-
it on one of our next episodes.
Oh yeah. So my wife and I have tickets for Wednesday, so
Mm.
we go see it Wednesday. Very excited. I think I'm. Curtis was hyping it up for me, and I was already pretty hyped.
I
Curtis said he cried.
aggressively wept through every minute of that movie. So
Okay, so we have gotten an answer from our question from our bot.
Oh no.
okay, let's see what this is.
All right. What is the name of the great dragon god worshipped by many in the Forgotten Realms?
Which one?
I know, right?
Yeah, I think it's.
There's
like,
a couple.
so-
I'll accept some answers. It did give me one.
I mean, Tiamat, Bahamut,
Bahamut.
Those were the two.
Baja.
Baja Blast.
If I could have a dragon with a Baja
Code
breath,
Red?
done.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole
Got 'em.
pantheon of Draconic gods. So, I mean, like,
That's good.
nice job.
Dude. There's so many underrated dragons. Y'all ever hear of the pink dragon?
I'm waiting. Is there a punchline? Is there going to be a punchline?
Well,
Big pink.
not exactly. You see, the pink dragon was something that was released like back in the 90s in Dungeon magazine or whatever it was. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and
okay.
like it would hoard jokes, and it had a bubble breath. And like I think its frightening presence would be, instead of a frightful presence, it'd be like a hideous laughter situation.
You laugh at it.
That's. I
I'm
kind
gonna
of
have
like
to talk
that
about
idea.
this on an episode now.
Oh hell yeah! I think Mr. Rex did an entire video on the subject. Check it out if you get the chance.
Probably
The
did.
pink,
Yeah.
the pink dragon. Yeah, I think this is. I'm gonna write it down. I think this is something we need to.
I know
look
I
at.
did. We did an episode a little bit on the dragon turtle as our first dragon.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that was one of our more popular episodes. Maybe it was the titling, the turtle and the free shit.
Pretty good. and yeah, I was kind of coming into the kind of the lesser dragons or the outskirts dragons before going to like the reds and the blues.
Do you guys have a favorite dragon that you just like to pull from?
Ooh, favorite dragon.
You know, I'm a big fan of drakes, honestly.
I like that. Something
I'm
different.
a big fan of drakes, but I think if I have to pick a dragon, I'd probably say like the long serpentine like worms. I think those are.
I mean, I had an idea a long time ago for like a drake, but like a drake that's got like a lycanthropy where it's a were human. So it's
What do you think? It's like a dragonborn though. Like,
no. It's a drake that turns into a humanoid, and then its human characteristics causes it to want to go and scheme and make money. So it starts a pyramid scheme of lycanthropy.
So it's like a backwards lycanthropy.
Yeah. Yes.
Like this beast contracted the curse, and then like gained like humanoid intelligence.
Yeah. It's like Chopper from One Piece.
Yeah, I've been talking about Chopper a lot lately. Thanks, Micah.
Oh wow, this had a whole layer to it. I love it. Some thought definitely went into
layers
this.
here. So, do we have any news for this week, Orion? What's going on in the Spear D&D?
Hey, we totally understand technical glitches here. You're truly okay.
D&D, like,
I do. I have to. I sense
There
it
we
just
go.
Absolute.
Someone's been
Crap.
cursing you with
There's
this.
there's that
I'm just
voice.
kidding.
Just me.
There we
Just
go.
me, really.
Cool.
No, I'm.
All right, welcome back.
There.
Hey, welcome back.
We fixed the problems.
The more people you add, the more difficulties you have.
We'll just have to have Fen play like a technical difficulties sound.
Yeah, the color bar sound.
Well, I'm glad you caught it so that it doesn't become a big problem.
I wasn't sure if you were just taking a long pause.
Pause for
Dramatic
dramatic.
Yeah,
effect.
Yeah.
I was like,
Mm.
what's going on?
Nah, I would, but I missed out on the theater kid portion of high school. Like,
Fair enough.
yeah, I was theater kid adjacent. So like,
So you were a band kid.
no, I would hang out with some of the theater kids in like the theater classroom before school started.
Oh, so you were a groupie.
I mean, do groupies sit around making imaginary dicks? Like,
Yes.
That's
I would
pretty
think
much in the
so.
description, I think. Yeah.
If you have any groupies
Definitely
listening to us, let us know.
Mm.
And it's an email or the Reddit.
Yeah, got to get that group email.
Oh, what's the news for this week?
Okay.
Ryan? Anything interesting going on?
There is some interesting stuff going on in tabletop shenanigans. So, did you guys know that there's a Terminator RPG? Like
Terminator.
It's Sam
RPG?
surprised.
yeah, like I was a little surprised, but what surprises me more is that they're releasing an expansion which is based on Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which baffling to me for the sheer fact that no one has ever seen the first Terminator movie. There's only Terminator 2.
Oh,
Is that true?
Oh wow. Okay. Well, man, I think I've only ever, like, from start to finish, I have only ever
Okay,
watched
I've never
the first
seen
one.
like actually watched Terminator.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I in fact I got really confused because it's the second one where he's a good guy. In the first one, he's a bad guy,
Yeah.
and I got so confused.
Yeah, you're the first person I've ever met that's seen the first one.
Really?
Yes.
Terminator
Oh, wow.
is one of those movies, kind of like Rocky and stuff like that. People talk about it enough to where you don't really have to watch it. You already know what happens.
Yeah.
It's just a pop culture staple. So
I've never
like,
seen Titanic,
yeah.
and I,
You've
I
never
feel like I
seen
know the
it.
whole movie.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say it's one of
Why
those things.
didn't she leave enough room on the door? Like, I've never seen the movie, but I know she could have scooted
Classic.
over.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Even a little bit longer, maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
Draw me like one of your French girls is a very common thing,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
like
the thumbs up in the lava. Like,
Yeah.
Them
Yeah.
guys taught me a lot about
Yeah.
these things.
Oh.
Mm.
That's interesting though. A tabletop Terminator one. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't think there'd be all that much. I mean, you got some post-apocalyptic stuff, but there's already systems for that, so I don't know why a Terminator would be necessary, but great, I guess.
Yeah, if it works for them, sure.
hey, if you're interested in Terminator,
Maybe they have something spicy and
Yeah.
you know.
you know,
maybe.
really though, I mean, like, if you love Terminator and that style and that genre of story, just go play 40K. Like, it's just
Yeah.
that, but
Huh.
I
to the
mean,
nth
yeah.
degree, right?
I mean, does 40K have Sarah Connor?
Character idea.
sure could.
Yeah, I'm sure you could make one.
40K is always
Monty
better.
would
They
take
got the
the brand.
orcs.
Yeah, the orc boys.
Power of mods these days, I would not be surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's see, other tabletop news this week. On word on the grapevine is Kobold Press with their whole Project Black Flag. They're going to be announcing an official name for their system in a few days. So
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
I guess Project
Oh, yeah.
Black Flag wasn't enough. they needed like a real name.
I'm super excited about that. I think it's going to be really good.
Absolutely.
I am too. I like that it's 5e compatible, so it
Mm.
brings people. I feel like you could ride that line a little bit. I think a lot of people might be in this fence of, I know 5e, I want to try a new system, and this might be a way to like ease people in. Like, I know a lot of people
Expand
jumped onto
horizons.
Pathfinder and probably were like, "Holy cow, what in the world is all this math?" Like it.
Yeah.
These new
Yeah.
projects might be
Yeah,
coming in
bro.
as like, hey, these are
Yeah.
an easy way to get into a new system, maybe.
Yeah, it's adjacent, you know?
Right.
Exactly. That was the thing when everyone was like, okay, everybody has agreed that Wizards of the Coast is bad. So let's go over to Pathfinder. And then everyone was like, oh,
Yeah, they were like,
Pathfinder.
This would have been way easier during that. Would have been way easier like 12 years ago when everyone was playing 3-5.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
we
Yep.
were
yep,
all
yep,
in
yep,
math
yep,
classes.
You're right.
Yep.
You need to take a math class, and yeah.
Yeah.
How many plus twos am I adding and subtracting to this one roll? Oh, okay.
Oh man,
There's an X.
there's an X. Solve for
X is a number.
I don't need unreal numbers in my RPG, okay?
You got to solve for your AC.
Yes.
Use this quadrilateral formula to solve for AC.
Oh, I love it. No, I am really excited. I've been following Cobalt Press for a while. In fact, they were one of the first like third party people that when I first started getting into Dungeons and Dragons, you know, after getting the core rule books, Cobalt Press was like the first third party that I jumped into. I think at the time they were running the Kickstarter for Empire of Ghouls, I think it was. Really enjoyed that. I am excited to see what they do for this new.
They're a great group. I've run a lot of their like one-shot stories for 5e and stuff. They have a whole package on the Roll20 tabletop that I've purchased and run through for. I kind of just keep it in my back pocket anytime anyone's like, hey, I kind of feel like playing D&D tonight, but not our normal campaign.
We have a story where it was myself, Curtis, and my wife, and we were all just hanging out. We had nothing to do. And we were like, you guys want to play D&D? And Curtis literally pulled that on his phone, and he ran my wife and I through just a one shot. We were like, we rolled a D20, we rolled a 15, and we made level 15 characters. It was a lot of fun. So
yeah, they've got a thing on Roll20 that's one shots for almost every level. So I just had them roll a D20, and it was like, okay, you're level 15. I'll grab the one shot that's for level 15 characters, and we'll play it. It was really cool.
Yeah,
they make great stuff.
They're great.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of their stuff and imported some of it to my Roll20 as well. And it's just great stuff. And what I really like about the whole more systems coming out as third party being 5e compatible is 5e was already like the master of, hey, I'm going to homebrew it myself for systems. Like it was a blank slate for people to just, anyone can homebrew for this. Like if you've ever tried homebrewing for 3.5 or whatever, it's like, okay, there's so much, forget about it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. So much more work.
Well, with this, it's easy to structure and balance.
Right.
So just kind of like stretching it out more. Like when I played 3.5, I would take Pathfinder 3.5 and just bastardize a few other things and like, okay, this is our game.
Yeah. Well, and it was nice too that like games kind of were similar that way. So you could like, like this group over here does this. I really like this.
Wow, absolutely. All right, Sam. So what, I know it's a little later than usual, but what is the monster of the week?
Sorry, we tend to ramble.
Sorry.
That's all good.
That's what we do here. So, let me get to my section. This.
You all right? Need some water?
This week we have a special treat to honor our special guests. Our first double monster feature. These creatures have a rivalry akin to snakes and mongoose, zigzagoon to the viper, cats to dogs. The structure of this episode will be more or less the same. However, at the end, instead of putting the creatures against us, me and Orion, we will have a discussion about who we think will win the first Dungeons and Talkshows Clash of Beasts.
Ooh. Clash.
I just got to cut in right here. I really appreciate that Pokemon reference. Really.
I thought people would. Thanks.
I love that Curtis caught that. That's so good.
Zigzagoon doesn't get enough love, man. Okay, I'm just saying.
He doesn't. He's really strong. So I got beat by one the other day. Full sweep.
Hey, don't take my
co-host. Talking about the blink dog and the distortion. Sorry, displacer beast.
Oh man, classics.
Yes,
I think they're really cool. Yeah,
they really are. Like I always just call the displacer beast the kitty whippings because they got the little whipping things at the end.
Oh, that's so good. Can I steal that?
Kitty whippings.
I stole that from a podcast. Y'all ever Team 4-Star? They had a few of their people doing some a tabletop thing. I think it was the Unexpectables.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Yeah, and great. I think Gajin Goomba, when he was on there, he's like, okay, I'm going to take this and call it the kitty whippings.
I I love Gotcha and Goomba.
So good.
That's so funny.
So good.
Or maybe it was Taka. It was one of those two.
Oh man.
Uh,
Internet culture is a thing, isn't it?
yeah, it's so great.
It really
It
is.
is.
Really brings the community together, I think.
Mm.
And I feel like most people will look at this comparison and think it's pretty obvious, who's gonna thrash the other. But I think the comparison is interesting.
No, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. And they do kind of have this natural rivalry. Words. English. So yeah, let me start with the Blink Dog. A Blink Dog was a mysterious, intelligent canine creature. Most Blink Dogs had yellowish-brown fur and large ears. They were known for their ability to blink, a supernatural teleportation ability. They were medium Fey, lawful good, CR 1/4, had dark vision. They spoke their own language, and they were able to understand Sylvan, but were unable to speak.
Oh, I did not know that. Interesting.
Fascinating.
You know how dogs kind of talk to each other,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, so
being able to understand like Sylvan makes some sense.
it's like a Sylvan Scooby-Doo.
I mean, it is a Fae. Okay, so I'm gonna get into it, what this thing looks like, and that's gonna be very accurate.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Hold on, what kind of dog is Scooby-Doo? Do you know?
He was a Great Dane,
Oh, right, yeah, he was a Great Dane.
so he would be medium too.
Maybe not that close. So a Blink Dog is roughly the size of an English Mastiff. After doing some research, an English Mastiff at 2 years old is roughly 160 to 130 pounds for a male, and 120 to 170 pounds for a female. A full-grown English Mastiff, a male should stand at least 30 inches tall, 2 feet and 6 inches at the shoulder. The size of an English Mastiff female should be at least 27.5 inches, 2 feet and 4 inches at the shoulders. I don't know how big a Great Dane is, but
They're big boys.
I know they're big.
Great Danes are big, but they're not lean. They're pretty skinny.
Looking at the picture of these dogs, they do look fairly strong.
Yeah.
They look like pit bull bodies.
Mastiffs are rough. They're muscular and big and chunky.
I think they'd have to be because, like in 5e, a halfling can ride one.
Yeah.
Oh,
they can.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, seriously, they're
that's
listed under
fantastic.
mounts.
Oh man. So could I make a halfling that like a halfling ranger that like has a Blink Dog as its pet? That would be dope. Because you
I don't see why not.
ride. Can you ride mounts? You can ride mounts as a ranger, right? Yes.
Yeah,
I think it's a new character idea.
Oh, yeah.
that would be so amazing because like there's so many tricks you could pull off. Like, I'm gonna run up and jump off of my Blink Dog. You could do the Yoshi jump without killing your Yoshi.
Yeah, true. And it is a fairly decent teleport range. Too.
Yeah, and it's CR 1/4, so I would imagine a lot of DMs would be okay with that.
Yeah,
I think I would be. That would just be
40
awesome.
feet, huh? That's pretty good.
So Blink Dogs had an average intelligence. They had powerful senses, including the ability to see in low light and see in the dark, as well as possessing acute scent and detection tracking. Obviously, Mastiffs. A Blink Dog's most well-known ability was its ability to blink, as well as use Dimension Door.
Ooh.
Yeah, it can also use Dimension Door.
Wow, that I didn't know either.
That's impressive.
Dimension Door, right? That is kind of like
with that capability, it'd be able to actually take your amount, like the person riding it with you, because you can take another person. That's awesome.
You could like leave it somewhere too, and then like have it teleport to you.
That would be so cool. Oh man.
And like bring somebody. I could bring somebody with it.
Oh man. Well, you guys are giving me so many ideas of like. It's so good.
Like a Fey Warlock Ranger that takes care of a Blink Dog.
Yes.
Ooh. Yes, I like that. Oh yeah.
It writes
Into their-
itself. It really does.
Into the stats here.
Love it.
They have a strength of 12, a dexterity of 17, constitution of 12, intelligence of 10, which is nice for a dog, honestly. Wisdom for 13, and 11 for charisma.
Very nice.
And
And
10 in intelligence. That's actually unexpected. I didn't realize that.
That's people
crazy.
intelligence. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, like a
That's,
dumb person.
that's smarter
pretty
than
much.
most
they
barbarians.
could play Pathfinder.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. For people that don't know, a 10 is what a commoner has for intelligence.
Yeah.
The average.
Like your regular like villager.
Yeah,
This is your average
That's right.
high school student for intelligence.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically.
That
Basically,
dog
yeah.
can do high school level algebra.
And I imagine, that could kind of play into what the commands you give it. You could be a lot more specific,
Absolutely.
Oh,
more
yeah.
detailed, a lot more vague. like-
Especially if you speak Sylvan, you could give it
oh yeah,
Ooh.
direction in its own language.
oh yeah.
That's
Then it
super
would be-
cool.
yeah.
You could tell it to do something, and then it could just be like, "No, fuck you. That's a terrible idea. I got a better one."
No. I
It
got
really
a better
could.
look.
Oh yeah.
How about instead,
that's a
I dimension door both of us?
that's the classic moment where you're all hanging out and you point at the dog and say, "That's our planner right there. We have no idea." What
And I
we're
mean, if
doing."
you have the ability to give it, telepathy, speak with animals or something,
Yeah.
problem solved. It's smart enough to talk back with you.
That's so good.
You like a little telepathy amulet. Boom, done.
I've been sleeping on blink dogs, guys. This is amazing.
Me
Just
too.
Just
honestly,
cast dragon's
That's it.
breath on it.
Oh yes.
Unstoppable.
Oh man.
We will
Teleport
indeed
in,
take over
15 foot, breathe fire, teleport
Just
out.
blink out. Like, oh
Done.
shit, that's awesome.
damn.
You
With
can have it like take items to your party members too. Like, here, take them the healing potion.
the world. Oh,
Teleport
Yeah.
over there.
actually,
Shit, that's awesome.
wait a minute. Under Tasha's cauldron for everything, there's sidekick rules which applies to creatures that are under like CR1. So
Yeah,
this thing could become a
true.
caster outright with that intelligence.
Yeah, I was running some like
make it a
a
cleric.
series of one shots with the same characters for a while, and one of my players had a mastiff sidekick that
Yeah.
had like its own special armor and all sorts of stuff, and like I can only imagine if that thing was a blink dog instead of a mastiff, and he was a halfling, so he rode it around. But if it was a blink dog, dude,
this
This
is
That-
sounds like a
that-
fun
that'd have been
idea.
pretty crazy.
I like this.
revolutionizes
Changing the game here.
Damn. And here I thought I was having a good time as a halfling riding a donkey.
Imagine if that donkey was a blink donkey.
Blink donkeys, we got them. You should have seen the look on my brother's face when I announced the name of that donkey to him because he was running that game.
Burrito? Oh no, not burrito.
No, Burrito's the goat. The
Oh.
name of my donkey in that campaign was Barnaby Horsecock.
Barnaby.
Well,
What
Which-
a name,
it opens-
Barnaby.
It opens up so much hilarious RP because like you introduce him that way and they're like, "Oh, why do you call him that?" Well, look at him.
you're not wrong.
He's stacked.
The disparity between such a fancy name of Barnaby.
Sounds very noble. Very,
It does. It does.
high in status.
Oh wow.
That's money name. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a guy walk into a room like big fancy coat. Barnaby horse.
Yeah, it was Barnaby. Don't ask for my last name.
That sounds like the name of a bard.
Oh my god, you have like what do they call it? The people that stand and announce people when they walk in.
Oh yes. Yes.
Oh man. I don't know if you guys like The Office, but like Dwight's wedding.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh,
Or, I mean, when
so
Dwight was-
good.
Oh man. Oh. Moving on to the displacer beast. A displacer beast, also known as a Dur Lagron or Omlar cat.
Wow.
I'm trying.
You're
I did not know
good.
that.
It's not lost on us.
was a predatory feline monstrous magical creature. Monstrous magical creature. It was a large lawful evil, CR3, had dark vision and a speed of 40 feet as well.
All right.
So displacer beasts were large cat-like creatures, sometimes described as a panther or a puma-like with 6 legs and a pair of 5 feet.
Oh yeah, that was the one thing I remember being. My wife has like a displacer beast like little plushie, and it's so fun to have
that's
like all the
awesome.
legs. I was just like, whoa, what's with all these legs?
That's so cool.
It's just got legs for days.
It's legs for days.
And they had 1.5 meter long tentacles sprouting from their shoulders. The tentacles ended in pads of sharp. This is horny. So I think it means thorny edges.
Dude,
They're in the notes.
that's 5 feet worth of tentacle there.
That's canon now.
Yeah.
I've seen enough anime to know where this.
They are brownish and yellow in color. They were covered in a pelt of black fur. They were usually about 9 feet, 2.7 meters long, and weighed as much as 500 pounds, 230 kilograms.
Oh shit, that's like a tiger.
That's a big boy.
That's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. But the occasional mutant could be twice this size.
Jeez. 1,000 pound. 1,000
And
pound.
I would
cougar
imagine that'd
coming
be
at
like
ya.
a CR6, yeah.
Woof.
1,000-pound
burst out of the
tiger.
jungle.
Holy shit.
Fuck. That'd be a monster.
It's a rhino
The
sized
female
tiger.
displacer beasts were generally smaller in size, from 8 feet, 2.4 meters, to 9 feet, 2.7 meters in length, and weighing 450 pounds, or 200 kilograms.
Okay, Sam.
It's still fairly large.
Sam, I don't mean to stop you right there, but with that many legs and it being cat-like, it's like the cat bus from Totoro.
It really is. And I love the comparison. Thank you for that.
I don't think you want to be in this cat though.
Have you seen like the creepy pasta when they take these like Garfield, and they like make it really creepy? That's what that reminds me of. Yeah.
That's the kind of shit, like, if I go into my kid's room and they're watching YouTube, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, kid, turn that off.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
You're poisoning your dreams.
Are you winning, son? Oh no, Dad. I am not.
I'm horrified beyond comparison.
I have to limit their YouTube access on. It's like, I'll give them, like, the only time they get YouTube is if I'm running D&D and there's like, it's a Saturday night or a Sunday night. Like, you know what? You can stay up. I'll allow you this little bit, but please don't abuse it.
Man, I
Turn around
I
2
don't,
minutes later.
I don't think I realized that displacer beasts were that big. I just kind of always imagined them
either.
like regular panther size, you know?
Right.
But
yeah,
that's
like
that's big.
It makes sense for all the legs now.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Like 8 to 10 feet in length. That's huge.
This is the size of a
Kinda reminds
fridge.
me of-
Yeah.
if you've seen
Big
like
fridge.
Avatar, the creatures that have all the legs, It
Yeah.
reminds me
I kind of wish hippos had more legs now.
Oh, God, they're so good. They're so
Very
big
specific.
too.
I like it.
Hippos are
Dude,
large.
if hippos had another pair of legs, they'd be unstoppable. They're already the most
Right.
they're already the most murderous wild animal in the world.
If rhinos had another pair of legs, good fucking luck.
They're already a freight train on legs. So, like, what do you want?
That's what the future's gonna look like. Evolution, baby.
Next step. You heard it here first.
Once AI gets into genetic engineering.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Here we go.
We were too
They try to
focused
revive
on
the
whether we
dinosaurs.
could give hippos extra legs and not focus enough on whether we should give hippos extra legs.
They're already trying to revive some dinosaurs. They're probably gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Jurassic Park. We've all seen the movies.
Yeah.
So, displacer beasts were generally strong creatures, and their barbed tentacles were hard enough to punch through pure steel armor.
Wow.
Steel.
Wow.
Holy. Oh my god. They possess the ability to see in the dark as far as 60 feet. Their jumping height was around 20 feet up, and 25 feet forward. The length was doubled if running.
20 feet standing leap. 20-foot standing leap. Oh my god.
It is a cat. What gets me is it's like, fuck. But the steel piercing though, it's like nice AC you got there. Would be a shame if something were to happen to you. To it.
It is just a tiger with half again the amount of feet, right? Like so. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's kind of monstrous.
I mean, they could leap over a average building in a single bound.
Yeah, right. I mean, I could see these things definitely jumping across like rooftops and stuff.
For sure.
No problem.
Ooh.
That's a cool image.
Like a pack of these hunting your party.
Dude,
yeah,
displacer beasts.
You look at the rooftops and you see 12 displacer beasts running across, but really it's only 6 of them. But you know how displacer beasts work.
Oh, that's a great image. I like that a lot because they're like teleporting and
they're kind of like woo,
woo,
woo.
You could have like the big bad like send them at them.
Yeah, just getting hunted down by a displacer beast in the streets of Waterdeep. Done.
a displacer pack.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a great way to spice up Dragon Heist.
It's just
just that is true.
Add a bunch of
displacer.
I love it.
Unfortunately, though, these creatures were not very intelligent. But they were more. They're more intelligent than like a regular animal, and they could even speak some common. But on comparison to the blink dog, they're fairly stupid.
That's probably for the best, given everything else.
They're fey creatures, correct? Or are they?
No, I think they
monstrosities,
are.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they're monstrosities.
It's pretty close to fey, though. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious, but yeah,
they're large monstrosities.
Oh boy, they can talk.
From what I recognize, from what I remember, they're common in like the Feywild and like even some like elven or not elven but Fey elven like use them as mounts and stuff, but they are also fairly common in the material.
Is it kind of like owl bears in that sense? Like they're technically monstrosities, but they have some ties to the Fey realm in lore or something like that. I like that. Okay.
I believe the Fey like tame them fairly often.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's like Fey adjacent.
They are lawful evil, so I mean you can tame them if you have a good enough reason to keep them around. Like these are smart enough, and they often kind of break the controls. But if you can keep one under wraps and it doesn't hate you, I'm sure you'll be fine.
As long as it doesn't hate you, that's a great first step.
I mean, if you can talk to it, you can reasonably get it on your side.
Yeah.
Or, like, you have to control it magically.
Oh, that's perfect for the big bad.
Well, and that's also great to know for charm spells that it can understand.
Very true.
I don't know.
Going into the stats here, the strength is an 18, dexterity of 15, constitution of 16, wisdom of a 12, intelligence of a 6, charisma of an 8.
Damn.
Nice.
It's physically stacked.
Yeah.
I got some
Apex predator, but not super smart.
Yeah. Kind of basic, you know.
That's actually really interesting to me that the dex is lower than the strength. I would not have guessed that.
Especially for a cat.
Being like
I'd imagine for naturally it doesn't
beast,
really,
you know?
Maybe because it's so big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's maneuverability and
it's like the rhino of cats.
That's what the dwarves call it.
Dog does beat it in dexterity, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So, looking at the abilities here, they have an avoidance. If the displacer beast is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a saving throw, it take only half damage, but instead takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throw. And they have the displacement ability. The displacer beast projects a magical illusion that makes it appear to be standing near its actual location, causing attack rolls against it to have disadvantage. If it is hit by an attack, this trait is disrupted until the end of its next turn. The trait is also disrupted while the displacer beast is incapacitated or has a speed of 0.
That's
Interesting.
I love that disadvantage ability that it has, like the blink.
Displacement.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
it's so iconic.
Yeah. It's very
Classic.
fun to explain too, like to narrate that at the table. Yeah. Especially while the first time players.
Yeah, so there's a I don't want to spoil a whole lot, but there's a displacer beast. It's in the trailer. There's a displacer beast
Oh, in the movie, yeah.
in the movie. And it's really cool how they visualize the displacer beast. Very, very good.
Ooh.
Yeah. Really interesting.
I was looking at when I was going through my research, there's not much on the Blink Dog. Like, I pretty much covered everything there was. There is a lot more for the Displacer Beast, so I could do a full episode on them.
I think that's a great idea for a future episode. Because I know you can like turn their hide into like displacer cloaks.
Yeah.
Like cast like blink.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something I feel like doesn't get enough love in 5e is like, what do you do with a creature once you've killed it, right? Like
some crafting
what is its
system.
pelt good for? Like, what do you do with dragon scales? Like all that kind of stuff. Like,
right.
Yeah.
In my game, cool. when my party, Ryan, last game we had them kill a bunch of these kind of fiendish fire hounds that were inside of like a volcano mountain. And I always give them the opportunity to take what they want from the bodies with a good enough roll, and depending on what they want to make, like tell them kind of what the opportunity is there. Like you got good enough skin to make an armor, bones or whatever for weapons. Blah blah blah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely, like the Grim Hollows book does have small salvage sections.
I'm a huge Grim Hollow fan.
Yeah, I'm running a Grim Hollows book right now.
Oh, are you? That was actually something that if it came up, the homebrew, the idea was Grim Hollow. I've pulled a lot of ideas from them. I love their pantheon, the angels that have kind of like
cool, right?
Changed. I just love that idea. It really gave me a lot of inspiration. I love what they bring, especially to like the crafting side of things. It's so great.
Yeah, right. And it gives me a lot of opportunities to kind of homebrew my own items. Like we had a player who is going to like a gun mage subclass.
Ooh.
And they got to the final part of this primordial forge that I created, And Orion is playing our wizard, is a transformed primordial.
It's turning
now level 2.
It's
now level
wild,
2.
Really.
You're level 2 primordial. That's pretty interesting. We had another player in the same session become a fiend.
Oh heck yeah!
So it's getting interesting. And so I had them open like this chest basically, and everyone got. I made a table. Everyone rolled. You all rolled pretty bad, honestly. But,
it happens. It happens.
But our gun mage rolled a gun that I homebrewed for him.
Oh, the spider gun.
Yeah, it's this long, like, Widow's Peak sniper. And I put one of the Grim Hollow spells onto it.
Yeah,
very
it just
cool.
shoots spiders at people.
Well, you can cast Creeping Touch, and it shoots like a spider that you can communicate with and see through.
Oh, that almost makes like a little
cool.
familiar. That's so cool.
Yeah,
because the normal spell detaches your wrist. So I was like, okay, if I'm putting it in a gun, instead I'll just have it shoot a spider.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's just a lot of fun, really, for flavor. But what really got me was when he asked what caliber it takes. I'm like,
I know. I was like,
I don't know, brown recluse.
Excuse me.
Barnes
powder rifle,
just load it up with barn spiders. You're good to go.
I'm thinking today's a daddy long leg. Yeah.
I don't want to kill him. I'm just gonna pop an old daddy in there.
Like he pulled the gun out, and I was like, as you take it out, a large black spider crawls out and wraps a line of silk around your wrist and then vanishes into the gun. She was like, "Oh!"
That's so cool.
I was like, "Oh yeah."
Cool stuff.
Yeah, that's about it for what we have today for our monster features.
Oh,
So what do you guys think? How do you think if you've ever seen, what was that show, like Dangerous Warrior?
Deadliest Warrior.
Yeah.
Deadliest Warrior, yeah.
Warrior.
Yeah. Put this in a
good
simulation.
show.
Put them against each
What
other.
happens if you put a Roman centurion against a samurai?
Yeah, I love that show, man.
Oh man. Well, I think right off the bat, I mean, it's like just by stats alone, if this is like a brawl, like okay, yeah, the Panther's gonna be probably trouncing it.
Displacer's gonna win.
However, if we're talking about
one-on-one
creative ideas, man, we had more ideas for that Blink Dog, guys. I don't know what you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's legitimately just like a one-on-one brawl, Displacer Beast is gonna take it just for sheer, power. But man, if you're looking at like a realistic real world situation, I kind of feel like Blink Dogs probably travel in packs, right? But Displacer Beasts seem pretty solitary.
Yeah.
So it's like if you
I
got
would
a
imagine
pack,
maybe like 3 Blink Dogs or something.
if you got a pack of 3 or 4 Blink Dogs versus 1 Displacer Beast, I think they could take it. I think they could take
I
it.
feel like they're smart enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
a pack tactic.
It's like a pack of wolves against anything else.
Yeah.
They've got the
Teleporting wolves.
teleporting wolves. They've got the know-how to work together and work out the problem.
And with their intelligence being on the higher end, I mean, for a beast.
I mean, it's common for what are they called? Like lone travelers or like hunters and stuff that pack up Blink Dogs.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like that idea, Curtis. Bringing a little bit more of a real world scenario to it. I like that. Pack of them.
Yeah,
absolutely. What really gets me on that is just like you said, the intelligence. Like that's an average intelligence of a human, and I think if you're humans can be pretty crafty, so like
and they're
so I don't see why they wouldn't be any craftier. It's almost like a Naruto fight, really, because you got like this one character, this one thing that can just teleport and zip all over the place, and that makes a massive difference.
Oh my god!
Yeah, speed makes a difference.
Craftiness of the Fae. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
My first thought goes to like if I'm imagining this scenario of like Blink Dogs versus a Displacer Beast, my first thought goes to like an Archfey hunting party. You know what I mean? There's this one Archfey on his horse that has 8 legs for some reason, because it's the Feywild. Who knows why? And he's just got his, instead of beagles, he's got like a pack of Blink Dogs, and they're just chasing down this Displacer Beast like a fox. That's what it makes me think of. Like, gosh, that's really cool. That's a cool visual just in my mind. Like that's
intro to a game.
So let's say like a hunting scenario, right? You got this pack of Blink Dogs hunting down this Displacer Beast. What do you think the chances are that it's getting away? Like,
ooh,
I don't know. It's close because
it's fast.
Its whole thing is.
It's fast. It's agile. It can jump through the trees.
Well, and its whole thing is like confusing its prey. Am I
here?
Wonder
how
am I there?
Far?
Where am I? You don't know where I am.
How far can it like project the illusion? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
it's very wishy-washy in the stats. Like it's just it projects a thing, and so you have disadvantage when attacking it, but it doesn't say anything about range or anything like that.
I always imagined it was maybe like a few feet, like close enough to where like you wouldn't notice it just by looking.
Yeah. Well, the way I always imagined it when I was like, if I was DMing and I was DMing a Displacer Beast attack, like one Displacer Beast ambushing your party, my thought would be like, you'd think there were 2 of them,
Yeah,
and they were just close together and attacking you at the same time, but one of them isn't real. You know.
Yeah, spooky.
I would have to
Yeah,
say,
so they would think,
giving it to the blink dog, really, just because if you deal with a displacer beast, once you know what you're fighting and you figure out the gimmick,
yeah.
and you're.
What I think is really interesting is them being Fae and them being as smart as like an average person. They may know what displacer beasts are.
Yeah, that's true.
See, that was an idea I had. And then if we kind of go back to maybe what you said with maybe pack tactics, might start a little bit like at least learning throughout the combat, depending on like, you know, if the displacer beast could like finish it real quick, maybe if you had that moment of surprise.
Right. Yeah.
But I think if you give the blink dogs a little bit too much time to learn,
really,
I don't know.
Really, I think we're in Batman territory where it's like, okay, well, how much time? If Batman has
prep time.
If Batman has prep time, he can kill anybody. You know, if the blink dog's got prep time, he can beat a displacer.
I just
no problem.
picture like a.
I have to agree with that.
Running through the forest, like while they're on the run, they're kind of like communicating with each other, and they're like, "Go that way, go that way."
Oh,
Yeah.
good stuff.
We start fucking teleporting around the forest.
I'll say this: if it's one-on-one, I think Displacer's gonna beat it out.
Yeah.
If we're thinking real-world situation, pack of blink dogs, I think blink dogs have it. No,
I think they'll wear it down eventually.
No problem.
Yeah. Like a battle of attrition, I'd go blink dog any day of the week.
Sure.
If it's a quick and like they manage to end it in the 3 rounds that typically 5e goes in, then displacer beast.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Oh man, that's fun. That's a cool little thought experiment there. That was cool.
Oh, we should do that again.
Yeah, fight score rating.
Yeah, normally we do what we call the IRL fight score, where it's just like, okay, could I take this thing in real life?
Yeah, in real life, could I fight this thing off?
Neither one.
Yeah, it's just a hard no.
The only saving grace for a blink dog is it's like, you want some food? I got food.
I might be able to talk to it.
Maybe we can be friends.
Yeah.
You want to go for a walk?
Yeah. I think in that case, I'd rather have a blink dog.
Yeah.
Just imagine a blink dog pops in your house and it's like, "Sup, bitch?"
Where's your food? Show me your food. If you don't show me your food, I'll eat you.
The whole time they're talking in Sylvan, and you're like, "What in the world? This is a demon dog."
just pops in. You're like, I don't understand.
No hablo inglés. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? ¿Qué? Nani?
What are you speaking Irish? I don't understand. Nani?
Oh, that's cool.
You dare approach me?
I think now that we have finished this segment, it's a good time to go on our quick intermission. Ryan, you can play our.
We don't have an intermission.
We usually don't either.
Go on a quick couple-minute break. See you guys back.
Great. Okay.
Ahoy there! Yes, you! The one wearing the limited edition, nerdy franchise-related shirt. Do you like meeting in taverns with names like the Leaky Wench and the Wounded Willie? Do you regularly spend time with unintelligent barbarians or antisocial rogue assassins? And do you have a friend who always insists on being DM and making you last in initiative because you forgot to take snacks? Then you're in the right place. Join Sam and Orion every week for Dungeons and Talkshows, where they'll have monster deep dives, special guests, and spotlight homebrew creations made by the community. The boys are here to educate and entertain in all areas of role-playing games. Whether you're a new player or a a hardened veteran. We are your people. Even the unintelligent, morons, and dunderheads can all enjoy and learn from our discussions. So come and join us on Dungeons and Talkshows on YouTube and all the usual podcasting apps. You won't regret it. But then again, we're nerds, so what do we know?
And we are back. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello,
all here.
we're back.
Everyone.
Wow.
Whoa.
Jake,
Yeah.
Jake, I think we need to start implementing an intermission on our show. That was really nice.
Well, I think you need to take it up with our HR first.
We'll
Eventually,
we'll put it in a think tank.
Put it in the think tank. If you
Yeah.
you could pass your comment up the chain. You can email.
And by pass it up the
my-
chain, you mean insert directly into slot that leads into paper shredder.
Paper shredder.
Okay.
Got him.
Got him.
eventually we'll have more things to play, but
Yeah.
I think it's good to go pee
No.
real quick, get a drink.
Absolutely.
I
Snackies.
actually genuinely enjoyed that. Thank you for just a quick little breather. I think it's a great idea. I mean, we do.
We
it for
started
D&D
doing it
games.
last episode.
We do it for D&D games.
Gotta
I think
report
it's just a good
Yeah.
pressure break. Okay.
Yeah. I'd say it's refreshing. So, guys, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
All right. So I'm waiting for Curtis to say something so I can talk over him. No.
So, really, our podcast.
So we really
is
go.
just
No.
kinda-
No, my name is Jacob. I have a very good friend, Curtis, and we.
Oh,
yes,
me? Oh,
that
okay.
guy. We love Dungeons and Dragons. We play Dungeons and Dragons for like the past 5 years together, and due to life and us living thousands of miles away from each other now, we still like to.
every time you talk about how far away from each other, it gets larger.
I am now on the Shadowfell, and Curtis
It's
is
like
on,
less than 1,000 miles.
um,
Thousands of miles away.
Yeah, no, we just absolutely like talking to each other, and a lot of people say we have good chemistry, so we were just like, let's maybe try and do something with that. And so we started doing a podcast. We started uploading them to YouTube and doing all the stuff, and D&D just kind of stuck. We both really enjoy it. It was a way for us to just be like have an outlet for our creativity. You mentioned being a theater kid. I was kind of a theater kid. I really enjoy kind of that performing when it comes to not that dramatic, no, but I enjoy doing voices, and I love fantasy stories. I love writing, Lord of the Rings. Was a huge Redwall fan, if you guys know Redwall from back in the day.
I do.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's
Good stuff. So it's
Classic.
just was a huge wonderful creative outlet for me, and Curtis was actually playing before me, and he kind of told me about it, and so we jumped into this together. So
Yeah, I'm I'm kind of a closet D&D person. like I was so interested in D&D. I was interested in D&D and like had read the rule book and everything for like 3 years before I'd even played a game.
it's so relatable.
Yeah, it was just like it was like I want to play this, but also I live in the Bible Belt, and so everyone's gonna think I'm a demon if I ask them to play D&D. So so I just kind of closeted it and enjoy D&D on my own time. And then, told Jake about it, and he was like, "Sure, I'm down." And I was like, "Okay."
You want to play D&D? Oh,
Yeah.
you mean when sinners pretend?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you mean when you escape from this living hell? No,
Exactly.
Yeah, so we kind of and technically, we're technically inseparable because I married Jake's sister.
indeed, he did do that.
It was the plan all along.
We like to joke
Yeah.
that like he became best friends with me in order to get to my sister, but he married my sister in order to keep me around.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yep.
Yeah, got him.
So our relationship is very close. We work very, very well together because Jake's an idea guy. He's constantly thinking up new stuff, really cool things. He's got such an interesting mind that's just like, boom, what about this? Boom, what about this? Boom, what about this? And I'm the guy who comes in and goes, actually, that's unrealistic. And we should focus on this. And
Keeps me grounded.
I'm sensing a lot of similarities here.
I'm seeing the parallels.
Yeah. I like to call it the refiner, not the squasher. I'm the refiner.
And,
So we work really well together, and we get each other's humor, and so we were like, let's share this with the world because we're all,
let's try it.
It's so funny because we were pretty much in the same kind of boat when this all started.
Oh, absolutely.
I just kind of called him up one day and I was like, hey, make podcast?
I was all in for it because I've been trying to my dream is always to be a producer of some sort.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get people in my friend group to hop on the bandwagon. It's like, I can't do it alone. I'm a father of 4. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I've been floating the idea around for a long time. So I was like, fuck it. Why not?
Well, and it's honestly just a great way to also stay connected. I don't know, like it's a great way. Like it's like when you have the podcast, it's like, hey, I actually have an excuse to go and research some stuff because it's like I'm actually putting it to use in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how it usually works is after the podcast is done recording, we're just chatting for another hour because
same.
We're also just best friends. So,
it's really helpful.
Because he used to live here and now he's really far
away,
so.
Yeah. My wife is a 3D modeler and game designer. She actually teaches it.
Nice.
She teaches it. So we got married last year, and so I moved away, but we're like, Curtis, you help. you can't leave me.
She stole him from me, but it's okay. I'm not bitter.
I guess that leads me to this one question. How did you two first meet? Because I find that a lot of people have a lot of good friends and co-hosts for shows. Like they always have like an interesting origin story,
Let's see if our stories match.
That's Curtis has to mute.
It's like the wedding game.
No, it's kind of goes back. I mean, so Curtis explained that we're kind of in the Bible Belt area. We met kind of through church, was kind of how we met, but kind of through the course of like everything else, it's like we life moved on and we just kind of stayed friends, if that makes sense. We just find that we had the same sense of humor. We had the same creative ideas, and he was okay with my weirdness. It's one of those things is like when you when you just find the person that just kind of gets you, especially when you're kind of around people that like so where I live now, it's kind of, we're actually feeling this a lot. I live in Houston, and it's very hard to meet fellow nerds here in your niche. Right, it's mostly an oil town and an engineer town, and it's like these aren't my nerds,
Look, man, not to dock myself, but I'm from New Jersey, so I definitely
So it's like
everyone who lives there just went,
So it's like when you do find those friends that just kind of understand you. We've known each other now for Curtis, with 15 years now. Long time. And so we've done the thing of like we also will just do bits with each other when we're like, whenever we're just hanging out like at a get together of some kind, we'll just kind of like
we tried to start a YouTube channel together a while back, where we played video games together because everyone was starting their own Let's Play channel for a while there.
Yeah, everyone's doing it.
We did that for a while. That was fun. No, so I'm going to tell the real story now. The actual story. So,
one of us tells the truth, one of us lies.
We both were involved in the same basketball league here in our small town.
Oh yeah, that too.
And the very first time I remember actually like interacting with Jake and like having a great time together and having fun together was I saw him and his other friend under the bleachers at a basketball game playing with Star Wars action figures.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I was like,
that was a long time
Nice.
ago.
He was like,
I
"Oh
like
yeah."
I was like, I like
Where
Star
is this
Wars.
going?
That's
Now we're
fantastic.
talking.
So
Yeah,
I was
Star
like,
Wars.
well,
These are my people.
I'll go
Yeah.
talk to them about Star Wars, and so we bonded over Star Wars, and that's that's how it
Star Wars
started.
is finding your nerds. It's
He was like, "Here, you can play the droids," and I was like, "Okay, all right, I guess."
I guess you're fine.
Roger, Roger.
It's a start.
yeah. So that's how we kind of met. And then when D&D kind of became a factor, it was one of those things where we just kind of had a creative outlet. That D&D like 5e is just amazing to just be able to create what you want. If that like make your own homebrew, it's like I think that's how 5e really became a thing.
Something we've
Where it really
always
shines,
we've always loved about 5e is it can meet you where you're at.
Exactly.
You know, wherever you're creative, whether you're creative with art or creating worlds or writing or making characters or any of that stuff, 5e meets you where you're at, and you can just kind of jump into it there. Whether, you know, if you're really great at writing stories and coming up with ideas for storylines, you can have it there. If you love creating art and things, you can create character art and stuff like that. Like, so we both were able to kind of use it to kind of find a middle ground with each other, because Jake, like I said, Jake's the idea guy, and I'm the rules guy. You know,
so you just balanced very well. And another friend got in contact with me, and the guy that runs our game set where Curtis and I actually play in the games on Friday and Saturday. We don't DM them. That's actually a very good friend of ours. His name is Dipjoti, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's Indian, and he loves Pathfinder. The world itself, not necessarily the game, the world that Pathfinder is. So he, like, for fun, he reads the Pathfinder adventure paths. And so he was looking for a group. He knew a friend of mine who got in contact with me, and then I pulled Curtis into that. So that was kind of how we started playing online more often, just because like, I'm sure you guys can attest that DMing just takes a lot of time.
We were both like the forever DMs in our separate groups, and so that's why it's really interesting, and that's why we think we have kind of a niche to talk about, because we were forever DMs, and now we both aren't the DMs in our separate groups, and so we have kind of we have stuff to talk about with how we feel about how it was ran, the rules, and all this kind of different stuff. So so that's kind of the story, and now we're just trying our best to, you know, we started right before the OGL stuff started happening. Like, is it okay to like D&D 5e still? I don't know. The movie was cool, you know. Yeah, Jake. I noticed that Jake changed his online handle from Valiant DM to Valiant GM when the OGL stuff started coming out. It's like,
okay. You know, and I was.
You're trying to separate from D&D now, are you? Okay.
It's all semantics.
Yeah, didn't know what was going to happen, so I did do that. And you know, it's also one of those things.
Good, though.
You know,
because
due to the fact that we do play in technically Pathfinder games, though our DM converts them to 5e, I would love to be able to eventually jump into that. It is just a new world. Curtis is a little bit more better at math than me, so he's like slowly.
I've been learning a lot about Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm really liking it so far. I'm really hoping to play it soon.
There's a lot there.
That's a little bit about our story, and now we're just trying to make our way on the internet, see who enjoys what we do. We both really enjoy it. We like meeting new people in the community. It was awesome that you guys reached out to us. I'm glad that you guys are kind of in the same boat. It's fun to see like who else is also doing this and also trying it, seeing what they're doing, the creative outlets that they're going into, like what audience are you guys going to, you know, and stuff like that. It's very fun.
Yeah, I think our podcast kind of the point of it is to kind of invite people. That's why it's called the Backyard Tabletop. It's like invite people to sit around the table with us, talk about the games that we're playing, and just tell stories and just hang out.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like having like a backyard barbecue, and like just everyone comes in.
Oh, that's a great idea. Curtis is actually a really good cook. That's actually a great idea. We'll start every podcast with Curtis like making something.
You have to describe what it tastes like.
Today's recipe
Giving me hickory.
At the very least, it could be a fantastic special for you guys. Just do like the backyard tabletop barbecue.
Yeah, if we do that, I'll make sure to credit you for sure.
That'd be fantastic.
That sounds good. For us with our podcast, well, maybe not the podcast itself, but how we met, we both were going to Job Corps. It's kind of like a technical school for all kinds of bullshit. People that
for the poor.
Yeah, for people that don't really have their lives together.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, like everyone there has daddy issues.
So everyone.
Yeah.
So everyone.
Yeah.
It's for everyone.
Yeah.
Parents are like, look, if you don't want a good job, you gotta do something else.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we were both in the welding program, and we're just one day. You can tell this part. Sam.
All right, so if I remember correctly, I walked into class, maybe like one of the first days or whatever. And, I sit down, look around, I don't know any of these people. I'm chilling. Probably got my headphones in or whatever. I look over and I see Orion. He had this luscious blonde hair. He was probably talking to somebody, I don't know, irrelevant. So I can't, saw this hair and I was like, whoa. He seemed like a cool guy.
I too am one of those people that look at hair like first impressions. I don't know why. I know.
I was kind of listening, like I was like
that's
eavesdropping, but
friends
I was
with
nearby.
Curtis. Like his luscious locks is ridiculous. So.
We were probably talking about something game related or whatever, and I just walked up and I was like, "Hey, my name's Sam. Can I put your hand?"
What in the world? Wow.
It's funny because like
you guys are friends, or
I have context. For anyone who does not know, I am a African American, so I'm often getting, especially in Maine. I don't know what to say without being weird, but it's kind of like
he's exotic.
Object of exotic. I was exotic.
Exotic.
There were always people who wanted to touch my hair. So I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna shake up the schism,"
Flip the script.
Yeah. I was like, "Fuck it." I was just like, "He seems like a cool guy. He probably won't get mad. Think I'm too weird."
Well, the thing is, Sam, having lived in Maine my whole life, and like, there's always only like a few black kids at any school I've ever been to. I've seen the interaction you're talking about happen like 100 times. It's always some girl that walks up to the dude like, "Hey, can I touch your hair?" Wow, I've never felt black person hair before.
We're like,
"Oh my god!" Wow.
Like, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
So as soon as you did that, I was like, okay, I know what game you're playing, and I respect it.
It was a little bit of a power play, but also like, why not?
Try.
It's the worst that can happen.
I live in New Mexico, which
I just moved out of there.
Oh, really?
Is in the United States.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of African American people here.
I lived there for 2 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, I kind of get where you're coming from. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I thought it was a fun way to kind of shake it up, and
That's
it worked
great.
out great.
I love it.
Guys
I love
remain
it.
friends.
We did a few projects together, and yeah, we did projects together. I helped him make something for his wife one day, a long time ago. We've just kept in touch ever since. Played some Overwatch back in the day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you guys play any games together, like D&D games?
He's currently in my Grim
Okay,
Hollows game.
okay.
We've been in a few campaigns. None of them.
Is that
Yeah.
the one you
finished.
guys post on
That's great.
the YouTube? The YouTubes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I did see Grim Hollow in one of the names, and I was like, oh yes.
Yeah. I'm currently the DM for
I
5
love,
players.
Yeah.
I love Grim Hollow.
I'm running Grim Hollows with a bit of stimulus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So
I've
many
borrowed-
companions.
I've borrowed a lot of Grim Hollow stuff for my
So
Strahd
good.
Yeah,
campaign, for sure.
one of the players actually is using the werewolf
transformation
thing,
status.
so it's
That's
really
nice.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had our druid become a fae. Orion, our wizard, became a primordial.
Very
we had
awesome.
our fighter gunner became a fiend.
Oh man, and I love
That's
that
so
it goes
cool.
alongside with your normal class. It's not like a multi-class thing. It goes alongside of it, and it reminds me of a
Yeah.
lot of in Pathfinder. There are things called mythic classes, which is basically when you hit level 20 in Pathfinder, you can continue leveling, and you could like become an angel or become a lich, right? And it reminded me of that,
Yeah.
but a little bit more 5e, I guess you could say, rather than becoming
A little less
yeah,
intense.
like you don't have to get to
Yeah.
level 20
Mhm.
before you do this type of thing. I love it.
And I like that the bonuses that you get from the transformations aren't really that powerful. They don't make you that much
Right.
stronger.
Well, and there's
Very
plenty of
like RP
downsides.
focused,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, plenty down.
Yeah, like if I have disadvantage on death saves now, so if I go down, I'm probably gonna go down.
Yeah,
As your soul gets pulled towards an elemental plane.
It's so
cool.
fun. Yeah, I've
It's my
go for it.
Well, it's my first time being able to really play a female character, so I've been having a lot of fun with that.
Oh, that's interesting. That's
that's
different.
awesome.
Yeah, I have yet to take the plunge into playing. No, actually, you know what? I take that back. For one shot, I did play a female character once. It was actually
You
in
did?
Curtis's
Yep.
game. Yeah, it
Female
was a
half
female
orc.
half
Yeah.
orc. She was cool. No,
Great.
I take that
Bounty,
back.
bounty hunter. It's great.
The last thing I ran was a Bloodborne one shot, maybe about a year and a half ago.
Bloodborne. That's
Ooh.
awesome.
Yeah, I made a Bloodborne one shot.
Yeah,
Pretty much
it was the precursor to this game.
Mhm. Yeah, I thought it would kind of get me in the headspace of the horror.
Yeah,
aesthetic.
yeah.
And I had some of the same players in that. Ryan was there, Davin was there, I think.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's great.
Although we upload it to the channel, it's really just more of a campaign log for the players.
You know,
Like,
And for the whoever may be
yeah.
interested.
Well,
to
and
keep
we
them-
actually, because we record our games, but we just kind of keep them on backlog for the case of like if a player misses or just if we need to be refreshed. It's actually just kind of nice to be able to like, wait, what happened? What was that conversation?
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
yeah,
Yeah.
we just make it public so it's easy access for everybody.
Yeah.
It's our way of taking notes lazily. Yeah.
Lazy DM. though.
I feel that.
As you guys can tell, I am the one that does the real
Yeah,
work,
it's
pairing.
great.
Obviously, you're definitely the one with the child on your shoulder. Right?
Yep.
He doesn't know how hard I have
So
it.
good.
Just one of my many ideas.
So good. So good. Oh man.
All right.
I think it's a good transition into our homebrew features, huh?
Well, you know what? I do have a fun stinger for the homebrew portion.
Yes, you do.
Sting me.
Ouch.
Generic realm, lots of fun, excellent.
What in the world?
We got to get a soundboard.
Man,
Jake. We
maybe
gotta
I
do
need to
that.
invest
Let's
in
get
one.
to it.
That's great.
Well, the one I've been using is just voice mod. You can download it for free.
There you
It's a
go.
lot of fun.
Well,
And the one that we have for our intermission, we got a guy on Fiverr voicing things. to
Oh,
write
that's
his
so
voice.
cool. Nice.
Yeah.
I want to say I love the like little bit of music that you guys have in your podcast. I like the chill vibe that you guys got going on. I just think it's great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that was actually a critique that was given to us by our the AI dude that does the thumbnails for our show. He's like, "Hey, I was listening to some lo-fi while listening to the show, and it just went so well together." I'm like, okay, we're doing that now.
It's great. I don't know, it just added a little bit of a layer. I don't know. It's like, oh, this is nice.
I appreciate the feedback.
Hey, yeah.
All
Like
right.
an onion.
So, Sam, do you want to go first with the homebrew?
Oh, we could roll for it.
Yes,
Roll for
rollies.
initiative.
Rollies.
Roll for it. Oh
Yes.
man.
My dice.
I got my LED dice that the wife got me for Christmas.
Oh yeah, you gotta show me the new dice.
Am I involved in this? Do I need to roll?
Ow, Jesus!
And it's just like,
Oh, that's
I need my table.
it lights up.
Oh,
so-
yes. Nice.
My knee hitting my table that somehow closed my lips. In.
That's how it goes.
Very odd.
There. So I got a 10.
Ooh,
You're proficient. in
nice.
swords.
Right down the middle.
Was it 20? I assume.
Yep.
Pull out my.
I don't know if I'm involved in this, but I got a 12 because I rolled anyway.
You have something to present as well, right?
Yeah, a little bit of something. A little bit of something.
Come on, let's try
I got a 12.
Definitely not cleaning off my weed.
Oh, well. Yeah.
You roll on that?
There we go.
It's the lucky one. Dude. Well,
I got a 3.
last campaign I ran, we had a stoner druid.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Every
you would.
interaction here, dude, smoke this.
So I got a 3.
Trust me.
I
Clearly, I'm
am
not
proficient in nature. Yes.
Oh man.
Nature
I
and
rolled the
medicine,
highest
baby.
with a 12?
Yes.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
you did.
Wow.
All right.
Well,
Got the guest sign us off.
yeah, I mean I can I don't have a whole lot. So basically pretty much anytime I run a campaign, even if it's pre-written, I always try really hard to make it as special to me and my group as possible. I try to implement things and do all sorts of different stuff. What I really try to do is pay a lot of attention to the characters and their backstories and really make sure it's implemented, even if it's not exactly how the pre-written story would have it. So I run a Curse of Strahd campaign currently. And what I've been doing is I've been using the Raising the Stakes PDF from Lunchbreak Heroes. They're I'm not sure if it's a lot of people or just one dude or whatever, but they have a Patreon, they have a YouTube page, and he's got a ton of great stuff about just adding certain storylines to your games, and things like that. And he's done a lot of work with Curse of Strahd specifically, where he's sort of made it more efficient and less campy. You know what I mean? Curse of Strahd feels a little campy.
So
if you just
it's
kinda read it.
So it's like Curse of Strahd revamped.
Oh.
Yeah, well, Curse of Strahd
Oh.
revamped is technically what they called the new
Everyone
box set when they
Snake.
came out with that. So, it's a little different than that, but absolutely it is.
Yep,
Yeah,
spirit.
basically the idea behind it is like, let's take this thing that's supposed to be brutal and insane and actually make it brutal and insane. So he just kind of fixes some inconsistencies in the story and stuff like that. It's very, very, very good. And I've used it for pretty much the entire campaign.
Can attest. It's pretty good. Even like little things. I don't know if it was from this, but like when you changed one of the gods to fit the cleric, was that a different thing?
No, that was very specifically just to kind of make sure that the character backstories fit in with the story. Yeah.
Well, I can attest. It's pretty
But
great.
but you know, some minor things that change is like the characters went to meet this abbot who is supposed to be a
He's like a priest.
basically an angel that has come to this place to try and fix it, but is then corrupted by the world and how dark it is.
He was on the internet.
Yeah. And originally how it's written is that he's trying to create like a flesh golem bride for Strahd, who is the vampire king of this world. And originally the way it works is like he's like, yeah, just bring me a wedding gown so that I can present this golem to Strahd. And the way it's reworked in Raising the Stakes is like he doesn't need a wedding gown. He's got a wedding gown. That's easy to find. What he needs is a face.
And it was like, whoa.
The bride, the flesh golem bride doesn't quite have a good enough face. He needs a face that Strahd is attracted to. So you can either bring me the face of the like damsel in distress that the party is trying to protect, or what he also suggests is like if anyone in the party has had an interaction with Strahd and Strahd is like attracted to them or they're attracted to Strahd, you can use their face as well. And I did that. And so basically he was like, I still need a face for this flesh golem. I like yours. Yours is really nice. I bet Strahd would like your face. You can give it to me, right? You don't need your face, right? You can still eat without it. You can still see without it. Just give me your face.
It was quite a moment of like, and also revealing like the corpse bride, if you will, of not having everything was good, but not having the face. It was just like oh no, what is going on right here?
Like this ultimate lawful good entity has been like twisted by this dark realm and has been like the ultimate goal here is to appease the ruler of this realm so that the people can live peacefully. So you not giving me your face is actually a terrible thing, and you should be ashamed of yourself for not giving me your face.
We're trying to save everybody.
You should feel bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so really cool stuff like that. Just kind of pushing it up a notch, and also just like fixing some silly inconsistencies in the story and stuff like that. I love this guy. They make their writing very concise. They have lots of YouTube videos, PDFs, Patreon, all sorts of great stuff. And they have a lot of homebrew stuff as well that's like completely by them. So you should definitely go check them out. They're really
cool. We'll link it in the description below. Like, I love that the entire homebrew that you just brought in is basically like a DLC kind of a homebrew patch.
Exactly. It is. It's definitely like like the Skyrim unofficial patch.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I love that.
To Curse of Strahd. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
It literally takes like every single area your players can go, it has a chapter for, and it explains how it just tweaks it just a little bit, just to make it a little more interesting and fit better. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's awesome.
It's been very helpful.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
All right, so for my homebrew, I present to you guys the Street Boxer Fighter subclass.
Hell yeah. Mike Tyson.
Essentially. So I'll read it off right here. As opposed to the standard trained warrior, the street boxer is a combatant whose style of fist fighting was learned in the urban battlegrounds through wits, grit, and blood. Always making themselves present in back alley brawls and tournaments alike. These rugged fighters revel in the thrill of split-second timing, ruthless exchanges, and decisive knockouts. Driven to become the best challengers in the world. So starting at level 3, you get some bonus proficiencies. So you become proficient in athletics and acrobatics. If you're already proficient in both of those skills, you gain expertise with one of them instead.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Oh,
I
that's
like that.
cool. That's very interesting.
Yeah. And then
It's different.
next we got street discipline, which is kind of like it's kind of like being monk without being monk.
Mhm.
You gain the unarmed fighting style.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. That's a D6 for your
Yeah.
attacks. And let's see, while clenched, each of your fists now counts as one-handed melee weapon. No action
Nice.
required for it. So that combos rules-wise with a lot of stuff,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
such as Paladin. So that's
Yeah.
lots of potential.
Smite with some.
You could have like a brass knuckles
Oh.
paladin. Holy shit!
Yes, exactly. And then the third
God.
thing you get for street discipline, when you use the attack action with an unarmed strike on your turn, you can make one unarmed strike as a bonus action, starting at from level 7th level. If you aren't wielding any weapons other than your fists or a shield, when you do, you may add your ability modifier to the damage roll.
Your shields. You could have a shield and fist.
Yeah.
I mean, Captain America.
Captain America, right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess you are right, huh?
That's awesome.
And
I
then
forgot Captain America existed for a minute.
moving on up to level 7, we got Hone Techniques. Your experience in street brawls and back alley skirmishes has trimmed and sharpened your techniques learned in your training, allowing you to employ them on any situation by muscle memory alone.
Mm.
Once per round, you can use one of the following maneuvers. So we're getting some maneuvers here, and I'm liking that.
Oh, that's
Maneuver.
cool. Okay.
That's great.
Okay, first maneuver is Guard Up, which is a reaction that you can use. When you take the bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage from a melee attack, you can use your reaction to put your guard up, giving you resistance to the triggered damage type until the end of that attacker's turn. So
Okay,
That-
that's
Wow.
pretty cool.
that's amazing.
That's hefty.
I love that.
Yeah.
Next is Cross Counter. By sensing the timing of an incoming blow, you can use your opponent's momentum against them. If the enemy's within 5 feet of you and misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to make an unarmed strike against them. On a hit, the creature's strength modifier is added to the damage roll.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Really creative. That's cool.
actually using their strength against them. That's really
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
Counter.
Exactly. Little Mac up in here,
Dude, I love Little Mac and Smack.
right?
Oh,
And then
hard.
the third technique you get from your level 7 is Nasty Hook. Whenever you use your action to make an unarmed strike, you can forego your bonus action for that turn to put extra weight behind your blow. On a hit, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or gain disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks and not be able to take reactions until the end of their next turn.
Please, someone do
Whoa.
a haymaker.
That's basically a haymaker.
Basically
Yeah.
a haymaker. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess we're
Holy cow. That's strong.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a DC for it. So 8 plus
Yeah,
proficiency plus your strength mod.
Good
Yeah.
show.
Pretty
Which-
average.
oh, yeah.
That's
That
good.
checks out.
Yeah.
Then up at level 10, we get expanded repertory. So you get more techniques than you had before. We're starting off with Jawbreaker.
Oof.
Great name already. Whenever you use your action to make an unarmed strike, you can forego your extra attacks on that turn to put all of your power into the next swing. On a hit, the target must succeed on a con saving throw or be stunned until the start of your next turn.
Stunning.
Once you
I
use
love-
this
love
maneuver,
this
you
thing.
can't use it again until you spend one round without performing any maneuvers.
Gotcha. I like
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
they
you just
balance
think
that.
confused.
That's pretty much a stunning
Yeah.
strike. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just a little
the
more
stunning
balanced
strike
out.
with a cooldown,
A little
so that's
bit,
good.
a little bit more balanced
That's-
stunning
yeah.
strike. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Next, you got Uppercut. Whenever you use your action to make an unarmed strike, you can forego your bonus action and attempt to throw a mighty uppercut. On a hit, if the target is large or smaller, they must succeed on a dex save or be knocked off their feet and fall prone.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And then we got Shuffle
I
Step.
love the maneuvers.
Oh yeah,
Oh, flow like a butterfly.
we need more maneuvers
Yeah.
for fighters.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how to stay light on your feet, allowing you to make large movements with greater quickness than most. Whenever you are the target of an attack spell or area of effect feature, you can use your reaction to move 10 feet in any direction without provoking opportunity attacks. If the movement causes you to leave the range of the triggering attack or spell, and then just barely misses you, once this maneuver, let's see, once you use this maneuver, you can't use it again until you spend one round without moving.
That's
Okay.
super cool. So if you're just barely in the range of like a fireball, you can use your reaction to hop out of that range and avoid it.
Great.
That's so
Also, this is
cool.
a fighter, so adding some feats. I don't know. I thought of like the half feet crusher to this, or like the grappler feat.
Ooh, yes,
Yeah.
grappler would
I
be.
think
amazing.
that could be really fun. I don't know. That's just where my head went.
Absolutely. Like there's a lot of potential here, and it's just very flavorful. It gives options to fighters, and they don't have enough options. Like people are like, oh, martials aren't strong enough. If you just give them options, they'll be strong enough.
Yeah.
If you're creative,
it creates a fighter that's not just I swing big sword and have big armor. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
unga bunga.
yeah.
You guys are
Creates a
gonna like
fighter
what the 15th level stuff is called Slugger.
Oh man.
Okay. Your knuckles are no different from instruments of demolition. Okay, that's great flavor. The damage die of your unarmed strikes increases to a D8 if you aren't wielding any weapons or a shield. When you make the attack roll, the D8 becomes a D10.
Oh,
Nice.
All right, D10 Fists of Fury. That's pretty good.
That's
Fists of
intense.
Fury.
While clenched, each of your fists now count as a melee weapon with the heavy and two-handed properties. Okay,
Whoa.
so
so because they count as a weapon now, they auto go to a D10.
yes,
Jeez.
but doing this means that you can pair it up with certain heavy weapon feats.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
or even like the great weapons.
Great weapon master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So I think that's the intention of this slugger feature here. And the next part is
awesome.
your unarmed strikes ignore the damage threshold of objects and deal maximum damage to them. So you're just good at breaking shit.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Master of breaking.
That's a great high level feature, I think, too. Sometimes 5e classes will
Well,
kind
in
of
particular.
drop on those higher level things. That sounds really fun, at least on paper, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we come to our capstone KO. You reach the pinnacle of your boxing style at level 18, being able to deliver any foe to the ground with a single well-placed punch.
Ooh.
When making an unarmed strike, you score a critical hit on a dice roll of 19 to 20. If attacking with disadvantage, you score it on a dice roll of 17 to 20. Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
When you do, the target must succeed on a con save, DC 6 plus your strength mod plus proficiency bonus, or fall unconscious for 1 minute.
Nice.
Jeez.
Incapacitated.
Choked on that one. Holy shit.
Literally just knock them out. Holy shit.
1 minute. That's a long time in in initiative.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They can make a new saving throw at the start of each of their turns, as well as each time they take damage, ending the effect on a successful save. If the creature has 60 or fewer points after the damage from your strike, it is instead reduced to 0 hit points on a failed save and being completely knocked unconscious and becoming stable.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
so you just-
crazy.
Oh.
That kind of
that's
makes
all?
that kind of makes me think of like the what is it? The Palms monk, where
oh
they can
yeah.
Yeah.
do the like unseen vibrations strike.
They have like an execute.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that,
Yeah.
except it's non-lethal.
Yeah, this is
Which is cool.
only once per turn, but I think that's amazing.
It sounds great.
That's super cool.
Sick.
And you know, if I had heard this like maybe 2 years ago, I'd have been like, that's a little overpowered. But you know, compared to the subclasses that Wizard of the Coast is releasing right around now, like that's pretty on par. That's really good. I like that.
Who's
a lot.
that by?
Yeah. This is by, let's see, CamunonZ, a Reddit user. So I'm definitely going to link that. I'll send you guys a link too, because it's amazing.
Oh, sweet.
And the artwork on here, very good.
Sweet.
Yeah, so a while back I found, and I think it's kind of popular now in the community, but I found it's not a fighter subclass, but it's actually its own class called the Pugilist, which is kind of in between a monk and a fighter. It's like a strength-based monk, basically.
I've heard of that one.
Really
Oh my
cool.
God,
Sounds very, very similar.
Love it.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
I don't know if you guys play League of Legends, but the top picture is Lee Sin.
Yeah,
I enjoy the show.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
I enjoy the show Arcane. Yeah,
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Don't get any deeper.
It's good enough. All right, Sam.
I like that one. Oh yeah, that one's cool. All right, so today I present a wondrous item, artifact even, the Rock of Improbable Events.
It's like the deck of many things. I like it.
It's not just a bolt, rock. It's a bolt.
It's a bowl.
It's not just a rock. It's a boulder.
So the Rock of Improbable Events appears in every way to be a small rock, oval in shape, and otherwise indistinguishable from any other rock found on the ground. Apparently it is sentient though, which is interesting.
Smart rock.
So it's a sentient, chaotic, neutral rock with an intelligence of 15, wisdom of 13, charisma of 24. It's a really attractive rock. The rock can hear and has blind sight out to a range of 120 feet. It cannot speak or communicate in any way, but it can read and understand common.
Did someone just make a magic item based on a pet rock?
Yeah.
Kind of seems like it, yeah.
It looks like it, yeah.
I immediately thought of, like, you know, you have a...
No. This is Rocco. Trust me, guys.
I immediately thought
Smart.
of just randomly giving this to, like, one of the characters that uses a sling. And he's like, hey, I need to go get some rocks for my sling. And one of the rocks that he happens to pick up is this item.
Yeah,
It'd be so funny.
Cool.
It's like, hey, add this to your inventory.
Jeez.
Oh, this item is cursed.
Yes.
Oh,
Once
yes.
someone-
It makes me even better.
Up the rock.
Wonderful. A cursed rock.
It's Rocco.
When someone picks it up, they become cursed. Even if discarded, it will randomly appear nearby the person who last held it, showing up in odd places or even on their person. If someone else picks up the rock may choose to transfer this effect to them. There's never no ill effects otherwise. That's it. It just follows you basically.
The curse is paranoia.
You just can't get rid of it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I
You go to the
swear,
bathroom, it's just on top of the toilet.
swear I launched you out of my sling like a quarter mile away. Why are you here again?
It's a vengeful rock.
The fact that it's smart but it can't communicate is so funny.
It's just sitting on your
Has so
windowsill
much
every
knowledge.
night. You can't get rid of it.
It's
The rock.
I love it.
I don't. This
The Rock of
this
Ages.
might be a stretch. Do you guys know? Oh shoot, Curtis. What's the guy's name? Brett.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
The YouTuber that we both really enjoy, but it's super weird. He makes silly songs. Brian something.
Brian
yes.
David Gilbert? Brian David Gilbert.
You guys, have you heard of that guy at all? He did a song on
I don't think so.
like a rock, and this is literally what I'm thinking of. And it's like, as the song progresses, he's getting more and more paranoid of the rock like taking over his life.
Brian David
That's his-
Gilbert,
yes.
BDG. Yeah,
It sounds so funny.
He's hilarious, and this is what I thought of with this rock. I love it.
There is more.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's
rock-
more. Tell me
The
about
rock
it.
has no real purpose, or if it even did, it has long forgotten it. The rock's only desire is to make itself known, and it does so by using its flip over ability.
Flip over?
Flip over.
The rock can flip itself over anytime it wishes, as long as no creatures are observing it. This ability can have any or all of the following effects. A thudding sound can be heard as far as 60 feet. It can roll 5 feet on a level plane, 30 feet in a slight decline, or 120 on a steep decline. Activate an object that can be triggered by pressure, such as a switch or a button.
It's the opposite of a weeping angel.
That's awesome.
That's a loud rock.
It just sits
60
off a
feet.
trap.
Just from flipping over. That's a big rock.
You're like, what the fuck was that? Like,
Did that rock just flip over on its own? What's
wants
going
to
on?
be noticed. Notice me, senpai rock.
Notice me.
Just gonna slip that into the random encounter table.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yes.
like, okay, so you have your
Oh,
party
yes.
like traveling
Dude, that's
through the woods.
so cool. You're walking along the road when all of you swear you hear a rock tumble, and you all look over and it's just a rock.
It's just a rock.
Do you investigate?
The party gets lost in the woods. Someone like scratches a marking onto a rock.
Oh no! Oh no!
Pushing back, the rock flips over.
It seeks vengeance always
Oh,
for being defamed as it was.
this is amazing. Do you know who made this item?
Yeah, I'll. I'm almost at the
Oh,
end.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You'll pull it. Oh no, you're good. So, with the magical aura, the rock is perpetually under the effect of Arcanist's magic aura spell. Its magical aura is masked and appears to be a mundane rock to any type of magical detection. So, looking at this,
Oh, you can't even tell.
It's magic.
yeah. So it places an illusion on a creature or object you touch, so that divination spells reveal false information about it. When you cast a spell, choose one or both of the following effects. Oh, okay, so it has like a false aura and a masking ability. Okay, I see.
That's
See,
so its only goal in life is to be noticed, but
Yeah.
by its very physical nature, it is as hard to notice as just a rock on the ground.
Cannot speak to you, cannot really interact with you, can't be magically detected.
even if you try to determine if it's weird by like a detect magic, you can't tell.
You can't flip over when you're looking at it.
The only way it can communicate is to flip over.
When you're not looking at it.
Yeah.
I can imagine a party with a Ouija board trying to communicate with the rock.
no.
What a poor rock. This rock's existence is a nightmare. Somebody notice me, please.
So there's two more things. So, improbable outcome. You all mentioned if the rock is thrown, here's what happens. The flight path and eventual destination can be particularly unpredictable. The sentience of the rock can guide its path, end up in a location it prefers, even ricocheting off of other objects, bouncing more than it has any reasonable right to.
It's cartoonish.
A creature can use its action to throw the rock. At the DM's discretion, the rock can end up in a location it prefers. Though seemingly impossible chance, it can land somewhere, strike or even miss a target if it chooses. If it chooses to strike a target, the rock must succeed in hitting with attack. Its modifier is a +7, and it does 1d6 plus 7 force damage on a hit. The creature throwing the rock has no effect on the attack. If animate objects is cast on the rock or is affected by telekinesis, the rock retains control over itself and can act on its own free will.
Damn.
Dang. That's awesome.
Now, you may be wondering, maybe I should just put it out of its misery. How can I destroy this rock?
What a terrible life it must
do it a
lead.
favor. The rock is as hard as a rock is. I mean, if an attempt is made to destroy with an attack action, the rock ricochets in some improbable way and strikes the attacker. I mean, the rock is immune to all.
If you try to
Rock is
swing an
immune
axe
to
at
all-
it, it just bounces off of a nearby tree and comes back and hits you in the head.
It's immune to all magic except stone shape, which can change its shape and disintegrate or wish can destroy.
Oh my gosh,
Interesting.
that's so cool.
I love that.
What a just What just like it's just the worst thing to just put in front of your players.
This is an episode of
now
Adventure
the
Time
whole-
waiting
now
to
the
happen.
whole
Oh my
session
gosh,
is
that's
just
so true.
revolving around this rock.
Right.
Adventure Time, absolutely. This would
How to
definitely be an
derail your
Adventure Time
session in
episode.
2 easy steps.
Oh, the next Adventure Time episode. I love that idea.
That's
Oh my God.
so good.
So this was made by, I don't know if it's Vinez or Vinez on D&D
I
Beyond.
love it. Oh, it was on.
Thank you for making this hilarious item.
So good.
So if you don't have anything prepped and you're bad at improv, just throw the rock at your players and stall till next session.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
It just hits them in the head, like, out
You
of
know, I
nowhere.
think it's the DM's guide that has a disclaimer of like, hey, if you don't have anything to do, like you don't know what to do, just throw Tiamat at your party. I think I like the idea of substituting it for this rock.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more interesting, for being
That's
honest.
fun.
Sure, yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's so funny.
All right.
See, and then now I'm wondering because, I mean, it doesn't say you can't telepathically communicate with it, so maybe this road could have some luck.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I talk to rocks.
You talk to it and it's just screaming.
Kill me! Kill me! End my life!
Oh, what's that one? Shooty McShooty or whatever his name was.
Yeah. yeah.
Oh,
Just kill me. I don't know. I don't want to be here anymore. Just
Oh man.
get a glimpse into its mind, and it's just the most monotone, like, please, if you have any mercy,
Release
kill
the
me.
weakness.
If you can understand any word I'm saying,
get me over.
I love it.
dash me against the stones.
I think that about does it for us, Sam.
I agree.
It's been a great episode. Great having you guys on.
Oh, truly, thank you so much. This was
Thank
so
you for
great.
coming.
Great laughs.
It's been a treat.
It's what we strive for.
Guys, please check out Backyard Tabletop. As you can see, they got the vibes.
They do
They
have the
They
vibes.
passed the vibe
Vibes
check.
approved. No, truly, thank you so much for having us on. This has been so great.
Yeah, man. And to anyone listening, you can check us out on our socials, on podcasting apps, on Twitter, we're the Nerd Militia. Well, same as on Facebook and YouTube.
But hey, we're nerds. What do we know?
That's
Boom.
it.
We got taglines.
Gotta get the tagline.
All right. I'm going to end it there.
Perfect.
Thanks for listening to Dungeons and Talkshows, brought to you by the Nerd Militia. Check us out on Patreon or Discord if you want to support us. And if you want to get more Nerd Militia content, you can follow us on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and YouTube. Or really any of the usual podcasting platforms. But as always, we're nerds, so what do we know?